Alright. Well, I'm sure by now you've all seen the 2025 Tenere's been released. And as someone who just bought a 2024, do I have any regrets? Do I feel like I missed out? Do I feel like I made a mistake? The changes to the 2025. It'd be a brand new front fairing, obviously new graphics, a new one-piece seat, larger foot pegs, a new layout for the dash. It looks to be just bigger. It doesn't look like it really does anything different. And ride-by-wire throttle. You also get preload adjustable fork caps. They say updated suspension, or whatever that means. That could mean just the fork caps. It could mean they upped the spring rate a little bit. But typically if a manufacturer changes something, they want to brag about it, and so far all they've bragged about preload adjustable fork caps. So apparently they've remapped the ECU for better low and mid-range torque. Oh, a new headlight? But the headlight's kind of one of those changes that, unless the bike's parked and you're looking at it, you aren't going to be able to tell a difference at all. Because, I mean, anyone, just be honest with yourself, if that bike's going by you at 30 miles an hour, you're not going to be able to tell a difference in that headlight. Oh, you get bigger foot pegs. There's only one thing I feel like I missed out on. That change has to do with the ride-by-wire throttle. And it's not cruise control. I have the Yamaha quick shifter. And currently on the 24s, it only works up. You can bang through the gears up, never let off the throttle. Surprisingly a lot of fun on a bike that doesn't have a lot of power, because you actually get to run through those gears pretty quickly. In town, stoplight to stoplight, you'll get at least 3 gear shifts. The problem is, as you can see now, when I shift down, I still have to use the clutch. Everyone knows that you can still bang downshifts without a clutch, even without a quick shifter, if you know how to use your right hand. Like, oh, why do I need a quick shifter? I can clutchless shift whenever I want. That's true, but surely we can all admit that it's more fun when you got the got the actual programming for it. You don't even have to let off the throttle. Some missed opportunities for the 2025. So they added ride-by-wire and they didn't even add cruise control. What would that have cost them? $10? Tubeless wheels. Yeah, I'll get a lot of hate for this in the comments if anyone watches this, I'm sure, but I'm a huge fan of tubeless wheels with the center valve stem. Center valve stem is very important because KTM messed this up. When you have tubeless wheels with a center valve stem, if you do have a tear or you bend a rim, you can break a bead, pull the valve, you know, the valve stem out, and put a tube in. Will it take you longer? Honestly, no longer than fixing a flat tube. And if you have tubes, you're already carrying a spare tube. So, in my opinion, there are virtually no downsides to tubeless wheels. They say like, oh, well, if you bend a rim, you have to stop. On a 500-pound bike, the odds of you bending a rim and not getting a pinch flat, I would assume are very low. I've never done it. Maybe someone has. I don't know. But I would assume on a bike this heavy, if you're hitting something hard enough to bend the rim, you're going to have a flat tube. You're already taking the tire off. You're already taking the wheel off. And especially on the front of this bike, it's a pain in the butt. You've got dual discs. You've got to pull a caliper off. It's a pain in the ass. Then you got to break the bead. If you're traveling with those little 8-inch spoons, good luck to you. Anyway, that's my spiel about the tubeless wheels. Yeah, my biggest complaint about this bike when I was in Michigan riding all that single track, the rear brake works, you know, in theory fine. It'll lock up the rear wheel. It's not weak, but it's very soft and vague. You have, I don't know what that is, like 4 inches of travel. I mean, it's just insane. So that's something that also wasn't changed on the 2025s. If you're thinking of buying a Tenere, then you're torn. You don't know if you should wait and get the 25 or the 24. I got a quote back in 2021. I believe it was 21. For one of these, and it was $13,000 out the door. If the 25s are even near that, there are no changes on that bike that I would have paid an extra $3,500 for. For $8,300 for this before fees, how can you beat that? This is an amazing bike for that. Look, long story short, do I regret buying the 2024 right before the 25s came out? Honestly, no.